Well, hello there, I'm Ruben from RespShop.com, your online retailer for everything CPAP. And today we're going to do a deep dive into the settings of the AirSense 11 so that you can change your pressure settings, the unit ramping settings, and much more. If you own this machine and have been wondering what a certain setting does or how to change an aspect of the device, then you've come to the right place. By the end of this video, you'll be far more confident in how to tweak settings as needed so that you can get your best night's sleep. So, with that being said, let's get started. Now before we crack on, please do give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to ring that notification bell. We pride ourselves on producing only the best and most thorough content on YouTube for CPAP users. So please do support our cause by doing all the things so that we can continue to make these videos for you. Okay, carry on. In today's video, we're going to be focusing on the menu settings only. We've already covered the features of this machine and done a full hands-on review, which includes looking at what I like most and what I think may lead to an issue down the line. So be sure to check that video out if that's of interest to you. Firstly, let's start with adjusting the pressure settings. A little disclaimer here. Always consult with your doctor before changing this setting. You can also talk with one of our medical staff here at RespShop. They are available over online chat or give us a call. If you are new to CPAP, then you don't want to mess with this setting, as in effect, you're changing your prescribed sleep therapy, which you only want to do with express permission. So again, make sure you know what you are doing before you change this setting. But with all that said and understood, this is how you do it. From the home screen, press and hold the My Options and My Sleep View buttons for about 3 seconds and the menu background will turn white. The buttons will change and at the top it will say Clinical Home. You are now inside the device's clinical menu, which has a lot more options than the standard patient menu. Click Settings and then if you have the AutoSet model of the AirSense 11, you'll be able to change your mode here. When on AutoSet or AutoSet for her, then you can change the pressure range by independently selecting the minimum pressure and then the maximum pressure. If you have the basic CPAP or elite model, or if you've set your AutoSet unit to CPAP mode, then instead you will select the single continuous pressure that the unit will deliver. Within either mode, you can also dial in the pressure to the 10th degree by selecting this 0.0 button in the corner of the pressure setting. I'm going to set the mode back to AutoSet as this gives more options in the menu that we'll go over. If you don't see one of the settings that we'll discuss and you have a more basic version of the AirSense 11, chances are that the settings we're showcasing do not apply to your model. Next up, we'll adjust the ramping settings. Again, if you're not sure what ramping is, then we give a thorough breakdown of this on another video on our channel, which you can watch by clicking the link in the corner. Ramping can be accessed in the patient menu under the My Options, but the options here are limited. To get full control of the settings, access the clinical menu by pressing and holding the My Options and My Sleep View buttons from the home screen for about 3 seconds. Then click Settings and scroll to the Comfort section. Here you can adjust the ramp time in 5-minute increments, turn off the ramping feature altogether, or set it to auto. You can also adjust the start pressure of your ramping, which will only allow you to select a number lower or equal to the lowest number of your prescribed pressure range. Below that, you can turn the EPR mode on or off. EPR stands for Expiratory Pressure Relief. When on, it lowers the device pressure when you exhale, making it easier to breathe out. You can set the severity of the pressure drop by changing the EPR level, so you can experiment to see what is most comfortable for you. This is one of those settings that's mostly about what feels good to you. So personally, I'd have no problem recommending that you tweak the level until you are most comfortable. And then as your body gets more accustomed to the therapy, you can always change the amount of pressure drop off at a later date. You can save a link to this video somewhere or click the like button so you can reference it at a later date from your liked videos playlist and be reminded how to change this setting again in future when you need it. When you purchase the AirSense 11, you have the option of spending an additional $40 or so to upgrade the slimline tubing for the ClimateLine Air11 heated tubing. I'd suggest that it's well worth the extra cost. If you do have the heated tubing, then here is where you'll also be able to change the climate control and tube temperature settings. As you can see, I don't have the heated tubing, so these options are not on my menu, but they're pretty straightforward. The climate control setting is either set to manual or auto. When on auto, the device will automatically adjust the tube temperature and humidity levels based on the environment that you use the device in. When set to manual, you can then dial these in individually. If climate control is set to manual, then you can change the tube temperature setting anywhere from 60 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit or turn it off completely. Humidity level dictates how much the humidifier moistens the air before entering your airway and is designed to make therapy more comfortable, hence it's within the comfort settings. If climate control is set to auto, then the device uses its inbuilt hydrometer to ensure that the air is kept at a consistent 85% of relative humidity for maximum comfort. Of course, if you didn't purchase the ClimateLine Air11, then there's no way to turn the climate control to auto, so you'll need to set the humidity level manually. Or you might find that the 85% relative humidity is not the optimal setting for you, in which case you can adjust the humidity level as needed manually as well. But because the humidity level setting uses a setting of simply 1 to 8 or off, there's no way to know exactly the relative humidity that the air will be at each setting. The rule of thumb here is if you're getting a dry nose or mouth, then turn up the humidity level. But if you're getting moisture in your mask, then turn it down. This can be accessed through either the patient or clinical menu. I'll turn on the clinical menu once more, as this gives one extra option under the accessories section, which is where you'll find the mask and tube settings. So once again, press and hold the My Options and My Sleep View buttons from the home screen for about 3 seconds. You are then in the clinical menu. Select Settings and scroll to where it says Accessories. Mask setting is where you can adjust what type of mask you are using. Tube is where you select whether you are using a slimline or standard tubing. Unless you pay extra for the ClimateLine Air11 heated tubing, the AirSense 11 comes with a slimline non-heated tube. So if you are using the default tube that you receive with the unit, then make sure this is set to slimline. If you're using another tube and you're unsure whether it is standard or slimline, then give us a call at RespShop.com. We have respiratory therapists, polysomnographic techs, and a nurse on staff to assist you at no cost. BV filter is where you select whether or not you are using a bacterial viral filter. Unless you specifically know that you are most probably not. The standard disposable filters that ship with the AirSense are not, so you'll likely leave this setting in the off position. Now let's take a look at some of the other settings that you might want to access. These are settings that can be accessed outside of the clinical menu for the most part. However, there is one caveat to that. Within the clinical menu, you are able to select how many settings can be accessed through the patient menu. This is a way of giving limited options to those new to a sleep therapy device, so settings aren't changed accidentally or otherwise in a way that would negatively impact the efficacy of the therapy. So let's quickly make sure you can access these settings by changing the patient view to advanced mode. To do this, press and hold the My Options and My Sleep View buttons for 3 seconds from the home screen. Then press Settings. Scroll to the Options section and click on Patient View and make sure it is set to Advanced. Then press the Home button. Now you can exit out of the clinical menu and go to My Options, where you can now access more of the device settings, even if not as much as the clinical menu. Other options that we haven't yet covered are the ability to turn the Smart Start and Smart Stop settings on or off. Smart Start automatically turns the device on when the mask is fitted, and Smart Stop will do the reverse. This is great if you need to remove the mask in the night to use the restroom without having to manually turn the unit on and off. Other settings of note can be accessed through the More button from the patient menu home screen. Here you can turn on the Warm Up feature, which will begin heating your humidifier before you start your therapy, which can be nice on cold evenings or when you're feeling unwell and don't want to be inhaling cold air while you wait for the device to heat up once therapy has begun. Mask Fit will run a test to ensure that your mask seal is good. Select this and then press Start once you are wearing your mask, as you will be during therapy. The unit will push air through the tube and indicate whether your mask seal is good or needs adjusting. In this menu, you can also turn on airplane mode if you intend to take this device traveling. And that about covers most everything that you would want to access on the AirSense 11. I've covered the vast majority of settings you might want to adjust in this video, but if there are other settings that you need help with, or you just want to discuss anything we've covered today in further detail, then give us a call. If you want to take a closer look at the AirSense 11, then watch our hands-on review video or visit the unit page on RespShop.com. I'll leave a link to both of these in the description below. Leave a comment whether or not you tend to leave the settings in their auto mode, or if you're someone who feels confident enough to tweak these settings to your perfectly poised preference. Wow, that was a lot of P's. I'd be interested to know what the mix is of people who go auto versus the full manual crew. Anyway, as always, if you liked this video, if it was helpful, please do hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel and clicking that notification bell. We're here for you. So if you have any questions whatsoever, then give us a call or visit our site for all your CPAP needs. And wherever you are, sleep tight. Till next time.